Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. It's probably not going to be the first time this happens. I got a bit lost and confused, but anyway, we did a select all UV front projection in orthographic view, and that got a little bit messed up. And I think that was probably because I did not create my background image in the first instance, so it was sort of having a bit of a tantrum. But anyway, um, we're going to select our pixels in the 3D view, and that will select all the verts of the corner. In this instance, sometimes these things aren't, sometimes the faces aren't always oriented in the right orientation. Sometimes this gets interpreted as upside down in here or sideways, and you just have to fix that. But in this case, we're at least facing the right way up. Anyway, you want to take care to you want to use your UV vertex coordinate tools up here, and if I'm pretty sure X is going to be the X 0 input. Yep. So basically, in this with X, 0 point starts from the far left, and with Y, the 0 point starts from the bottom. So you want to keep that in mind, and also remember the actual dimensions of your individual sprite sheet, and taking into account the dimensions of the total height of your canvas, which is basically 2 times the height. So I'm just gonna go into Y, and 2 times 220 pixels is 440, so 440. So basically we're basically manipulating the UV, so each individual face will be the correct size on the sprite sheet. So I'm just gonna unselect and reselect this lot, and then in the Y we're going to bring them all back to the top for 40 up to the top, and then in the X it's going to be was it 220 or 120? I forget. I'll just look in here. 140. Yep. So 140, and then back to the 3D view and select box, select B, select, and then I'm going to take the X to 0 and the height, I think that's 220. Yep. Okay, now for the last set of verts, and select box, X, no, not 0. What the width? That's 1. No, that's 2. No, it's 140. 140. Yep. And then the equivalent height, 220. There. So we've got, if we select our faces, we've got all the faces now brought into the right dimensional the right dimensions in one fell swoop, and you can see that moving the UVs here. You can see the images moving. So just gonna slip around and find our oh, jackpot, found it. I'm just gonna manipulate these and get them out of the way, and it's been a while since I've played about in here, so snapping tools. We've got snapping tools. You want to use those to set it is closest. Oh no, vertex snapping tools. We'll turn that on in a bit. That'd be useful. I don't know why I'm moving stuff around like this. I think I'm going to undo this and start from the beginning. Okay, select. I want that to be where it is, because it's on the first frame. I'm going to open that up a little. Then I want to select the face of the second frame. And whoop. Oh, here we go. It looks like we can manipulate the position of individual faces here using the vertex thing. I know there's a way that you can control what's being displayed in the UVs and that, but I keep forgetting how to do that. But if we just turn on snapping here, and oh, there, good. So the vertexes will snap into each other, and then we select the next face. I'm going to face this way and just try and keep the rest of the things out of the way. But that's a third face, and we're just going to move that along, and then we'll grab it. Snapping tools is selected, so it snaps in place. Oh, unfortunately, when you let go, you have to make sure. Basically, you just can't. You need to make sure that you click it off. Otherwise, you move your mouse and it just goes. Whoosh. Anyway, coming across. Next face. Drag it along. Nope, I think I missed a face. Yep, that's the next one. Dragging along. And then snap. Next face. Next face. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Dragging it, dragging it, dragging it. Come on. Okay. And next face. This time I'm going to pull it down. Next face. I obviously don't have enough faces to complete the animation, but like I said, I'm just doing this so it can be appropriately walked through. Move your bugger. I'll just let it sit there and move it across. And then the last face that we have to use. And basically you would continue until you have completed the set. And then, just to show you how you'd go about creating the shape keys, because this is the most tedious part. I think you can actually add additional faces even without destroying the shape key animation. I've played with that and it hasn't actually exploded or broken on me, but anyway, I'm just going to go into edit mode and hide these on another layer for now. Move. Probably should have done that a little bit earlier. Anyway, edit mode and shape keys. Here you go. Object mode. Oh, here you go. So you want your base shape. You don't want to destroy that. You don't want to do anything to your base shape, because if you crush everything into a single vert, things can act really strange, because there's no space to sort of say where do I move from here, so you'll have an awful lot of trouble of selecting anything. You could basically create a bunch of vertex groups, so you can select the verts of each individual face and break it down like that. But I'm just going to highlight all the verts and do it that way. So hang on a minute, how do I do this now? It's add. So this is going to be our, so we're going to create our first shape. Our first shape is going to be the display of the first frame of the image sequence. So we go into edit mode, and what we're going to do is, one important thing you want to do is I need to try and create get our cursor to, no, that was wrong. I want to get the cursor to selected. No, in fact I don't want to do that either. Object mode. I want to get the cursor to the position of the center of our first frame face. So, cursor to selected. There. Here we go. I think. I think that's going to be alright. Oh, well, yeah. Edit mode. Okay, here you go. You want to basically pay attention to the Z value here, because when you're bringing each subsequent face forward, you want to bring it to the 0 position. If we select, oops, each vert, you'll see that the numbers of the Z are changing as they go further back, and we want it, basically all you have to do is, with the whole thing selected, hang on a minute, I'll just show you as we go along. Firstly we're going to select all, no I selected too much, B, select all. Okay, now we're going to crush all the verts of these faces into a single point. Try and keep it consistent, or actually no. Oh yeah, that's why I moved the cursor. I need to crush all the verts to a single position, and that's why I moved the cursor to the center position, because it's somewhere consistent there we can move it to. So if we Shift S, selection to cursor, all the verts that consisted of those faces have just disappeared. They're still there, but they exist in the confines of a single vert, and you cannot see them. They cannot be rendered because there's just no space. It's no longer representing volume or anything. So if we get out of back into object mode, we'll see that the base shape has now been returned to us, and if we move the key, the slider for the first key, you can see that it's animating the shape. And to basically refine my point on this, when you're animating the switch from frame to frame, it has to happen instantly, which means that you have to key its present state in the previous frame, and then its intended state on the next frame. I mean, we're going to move on to the next mesh now, because there's no point in, I don't want to create a whole bunch of shapes, but you can see that basically that's the first frame being displayed. I suppose we can do one more, so we can display the next frame. Go into edit mode, okay, so we want to display this face, so that's the one that we're going to be sparing. So just select the first one, go into vert mode, vert B, and then okay. Now we're going to Shift S to cursor, selection to cursor. Okay, so now they've all been crushed into that point, and as you can see, the cursor is at the original position of the first frame, but the second frame is a little bit further back, which is why I want you to pay attention to the Z settings up here. All you have to do to bring your next frame up to the display position is to select your verts, and because we're only moving everything in the Z axis, it's not going to affect the proportions of the face. So you just go into click on Z, press 0, and doesn't seem to have worked. Where have I gone wrong? Face? I mean... Let's see. Maybe it was because I accidentally selected... Okay. I think it was because I was selecting all the other verts as well. Aha! Okay. There, so you just wanted to select only the vert of the face that we want to display, and then you basically bring it to the 0 position. So this is in the same position as the original first frame was, but this is the second frame. So now we go into object mode, and you can see the second frame is being brought into the front, and all the other frames are now being shrunk into oblivion. And basically you just have to keep doing that for each and every face that is representing each and every frame of animation. So I'm gonna stop here and bring back the other sheet that I put on the other layer.